Welcome to the Ladbrokes European Ladies Championship from right here in the heart of London. We started out with 52 of the very best players, but right now we are down to our final four, who are still in with a shout of that first prize check of $30,000 and the much coveted title of European Ladies Poker Champion. It is all up for grabs as we hand up to your commentators, Roy the Boy Brindley and the voice of poker, Jessie May.
Look up in the sky, catch a rainbow, Roy. 4 left, and this is totally up in the air.
52 has become 4. The action will be oh so quick now. Every other hand you're going to be on a blind, non-stop bump and grind. The blinds are big enough. We are going to see some serious fireworks.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. What do little girls dream of? Well, if you're of a certain bent, and Lena Marciak fits that bill. One day, perhaps, she hoped to become European Ladies Champion.
Well, the worst case scenario, she can describe herself as the 4th best player in the European Ladies Championships. But I suspect with a chip lead position and the winds of confidence billowing in her sails, she can do a lot better than that.
Muller has been shown resistance behind by Lena Marciak, but she's taking no notice, four-handed. Any ace? Not big enough.
Good to see Lise Muller appreciates the power of the ace. Unfortunate to see she's run into a better hand.
Muller, short stack, Roy, of the 4.
Call.
And Lena Marciak, who's got plenty of chips to take on. This is what you don't want to hear if you're Muller. Marciak is terrifying flop postwards.
Lise Muller is not afraid to come out betting. The trouble is, the bets are never big enough. This pot is already 26,000. And if she misses, Lise Muller's likely to bet, but it's going to be ridiculously small, 6,000, 7,000.
Muller's only got about 32,000 behind.
There's a 2 for her.
If she really wants it, she has to go all in.
Check.
And you're not going to stop Lena.
Why did she check? Does she know a 2 is good? Is she setting a trap?
Right, it must be to fold. Marciak's like a runaway train.
Well, she's flopped a pair, so she should really ask a question. But if she knows a 2 is good...
17.
Wait, 17,000.
Right, I think Lise gave up on this before the flop. Marciak is just too imposing.
Sturdy stuff, and that was a proper bet. 17,000 into that pot was a proper sized bet. If Lise Muller could have found the courage to come out firing this time and the right size, she would have taken that pot down, not the lady from away 5-0.
As a chip leader, you know, you have to take advantage of the moments you can, but none of them are short stacked either. They can easily damage my stack, and so you just have to keep that in mind and play your position and hope things go your way.
And Roy, with only 38,000 compared to the top stack, Marciak, who's now cracked the 100K mark. Is this one already broke open?
She's not cracked this mark for the first time. This is the second time she has breached the barrier of 100,000 chips. You've got to say, Lise Muller has had a couple of missed opportunities now, and she might just be starting to crack. She might not realise the time of day, maybe playing an 8-seater strategy in a 4-seater game.
Round to small blind, big blind, and Boree. Does she sense weakness on her left?
There's the blue chip coming out to play.
Blinds, of course, now. 2 and 4,000. And Muller quickly gives it up. Boree's MO is to take the money that nobody else wants. That's why she's got 65,000. A lot of spread all of a sudden, Roy.
Lise Muller, 34,000. She's been so tight, so solid, so sturdy, and she's just not turning the screw right now. I think she's been caught unawares of the 4-seater game, how quickly the blinds are going around, how much aggression is required.
It's Boree in the cutoff position.
Raise. Raise.
And Roy, Lisa's found her voice.
12,000.
Only 2 cards add up to 20 is good enough for her.
I just wonder, though, if Lise should be shipping them all in, because the worst thing that happens to her is Marciak peeling off the flops. She's gotten this one through, and she doesn't want to see Shelley. put up a fight.
And she's just tinkering on the edge there, that space where she can raise and pass to a re-raise.
Pass.
And that point where she needs to simply move all in because she cannot pass to any re-raise.
2 blinds have rescued Muller, the Dane, back in business here. Right, she's gone back to plan of attack.
I could feel you looking at me. I was like,
Not a decision.
I hate to look back.
Feel free to.
It doesn't matter if I'm bluffing or not. I just take the fucking.
2 Brits, a Hawaiian, and a Dane. 3 island nations, Roy. Just 1 title, though, to fight for. And Muller, who's taken 2 in a row. What does she need to raise it again? Can she pass them
Raise.
all?
Raise. 12,000.
Suddenly she's picking up a few hands.
12,000. Right now, Muller has about 30K back.
Pass. Pass.
Lena
She is
says
low.
no. Shelley says no. Liv has a decision.
Jeez, that's been a big hand tonight.
She's re-raised all in with this hand before, and now we're 4-handed. That hand's all the more stronger.
All in.
We raise all in.
Wow. And those are all Muller's chips. Obviously, Roy, the ace-king will loom large in her mind. 10s, she might feel she has to fight. But what would Liv be doing with this? What's her range?
Well, considering at least Muller has chips invested here, she's considering, do you have an ace-king? Because I would be dominated. Do you have aces? Do you have kings? Do you have queens? I'm in a bad spot. Anything but. Everything considered, short stacked, money involved, blinds to pick up. I've got to make this call.
I feel like she can pass, Roy. I think in her mind, 10s are the very bottom range of Liv's move.
But you know, 10s don't matter. You know, she's the same price to overcome a pair of 5s. It's a case of, could she possibly have an ace-jack, ace-10, and that spot I'm in a great position. The longer she takes, the more unlikely she is to make this call.
I know you're defending your blind, but you've got something. And if you've already made a pair, I have to hit, but
Just see Liv's eyes, right, left, behind those shades.
It's like talking to a wall. But this wall's listening.
And if you recall, Lena Marchak passed up a queen in this hand.
Yeah, this is the question. It's a question for Muller's tournament. Does she want to gamble, and does she have to?
call.
She's stalled! Is she luckier than Liv Boree? Roy, that's a gutsy call. That's a call that says she doesn't want third, she doesn't want second.
Yeah.
She wants the title.
Well, fair play to her, and those percentages show she's underdog. But with chips invested, blinds to be had, she's getting great pot odds here. She's going to get far more than the 11-8, which those
Come on, diamonds.
percentages represent.
Or ace or queen.
Muller has reached down and made it, but right now, just between her and Liv Boree, and it's a safe flop for the pair. It's a diamond.
Plenty of outs.
Oh, the turn always makes it more interesting.
Look at those percentages. 3 times out of 10, she will prevail. She'll find one of those cards she needs.
It's red, Roy, but it's the wrong suit. Lise Muller, Roy, she's gone out with her heart on her shield here.
Yeah, well and truly made a gutsy call, just didn't get that piece of luck when she needed it. And that's been the story of this tournament. You know, every time players have gone in with a pair against an ace-king, ace-queen, they seem to have come out on top. 3 people remain, and Lise Muller was a massive threat. They will not miss her at this final table.
I made a few wrong decisions. And my last hand, I had ace queen suited and I raised, and I actually thought that the woman on my right was defending her big blind, so I didn't put her on the hand she had, so that was it.
A lovely city, but will the European ladies title be staying in London? Of the 3 left, Shelley Rubinstein, London born and bred, and Liv Boree lives a stone's throw away in West Dulwich. Lena Marchak could take the title outside.
So far, Shelley Rubinstein's been the only one to make outrageous moves with no kind of hand. Even her pre-flop raises often contain no more than a jack-high. Interesting to see there is now 261,000 chips in play because we've coloured up, taken the small chips off the table and run raffles, and basically there's an extra 1,000 out there. Subsequently, the average stack is 87,000.
New color as well, Roy. Those red chips, 10,000 straight.
Raise.
Chip leader Liv Boree, as if she needed some extra help, picks up ace king.
And Roy, as long as these ladies have been playing with each other, this a new dynamic. Small blind, big blind, Boree and Lena. And we know that Lena takes flops. We also know she's not scared of being in position.
She went over the
likes
top of
it.
Shelley Rubinstein earlier at this final table and got badly bitten. Once bitten, twice shy, as the saying goes. And Liv, with a monstrous big slick in a 3-handed game, it takes the first pot of 3-handed play.
Any major pot, and that's basically your entire tournament in one hand. So I don't want to be too overly aggressive because I get myself into a tough situation and then I've lost half my stack and then it's all disastrous from there. So I'm just going to feel it out, really.
We were talking about when it was going to be time for Boree to step it up. She's always been within herself, obviously now. Chip leader. Look at those last 2. She knows now is the time, Roy, when she can win the tournament.
And to think she come to this televised table what seemed an eternity ago as a clear chip leader. She's hung around, dug in, never looked in any danger of being knocked out, won her races, and it's all been onwards and upwards.
Between Marchak and Shelley Rubinstein, is there an idea that they want to slip in the heads up?
Raise to 12,000.
Or would they rather carry on and try and compete for the win?
Blinds at 2 and 4,000. Standard raise now 12,000. Shelley with a kicker a bit better than a 2 may have considered calling this raise or getting creative, but a king 2, suited or not.
Roy, the dynamics, 3-handed. Nobody ever expects to pick up anything. It's just that Morse code of bet, call, and raise. Is she really going to? Is she really? She's done it!
This is what we knew about Shelley Rubinstein. She can make these moves with no kind of hand. And I don't think her opponents can do this. Make the re-raise with a king 2.
And Roy, Shelley hasn't left herself that many chips back. It looks like, if you're Lena Marchak, you're thinking, she can't pass for the re-raise. She's only made this re-raise to get me to call because she's got a monster.
Mathematically, she's nearly a 6-4 on favourite. 58% chance if the cards were turned on their back and we saw a flop. Good stuff, Shelley Rubinstein.
I'm playing to win, and it's do or die strategy. A combination of luck, cards, timing, position, and hopefully no suckouts.
The way this 3-handed game has gone in the early stages, Roy, suggests that the button, usually the most powerful part of the board, may not be a stealing position here. It's just too obvious.
Well, that's Shelley's big blind hand.
12,000.
Liv Boree has her dominated, and she's raising with pretty much nothing, using her chips well.
And
Go
for
Jack
Marchak,
Femina.
that King Jack has gotten to her into trouble with the re-raise tonight. But she's not superstitious.
Call.
Now she's favourite now in this spot. We've seen this from her. She's not afraid to make a play on a board with no hand.
But Roy, she's out of position. Does that mean that she must lead at this pot? if she
Well,
misses some
Yeah,
flops?
I would argue she's in position. You know, she's got the ability to come out betting or the ability to check raise.
Irish position, first chance to bluff. There's 5 ladies in this pot.
Check. Check.
And Liv has lost an opportunity by checking there.
Well, she's looking over it. Lena Marchek, and I mean, in her mind, she knows that Lena didn't call before to check and fold.
15 grand bet would steal this from Liv.
Yeah, she's counting out, Roy.
She
Here's
got
some-
the information she needed from Liv. When she checked and Liv
17.
checked back. 17,000, it's weighty.
17,000.
Is this bet uncallable?
I would say so with a 10-6. Liv's got a lot of chips. She doesn't want to jeopardise them making a re-race here with no outs, no draw, no hand.
How creative can she be? It looks like Marchek's made the bet to win it. Sensed weakness, pounced.
Marchek was always favourite once this was called pre-flop.
Plus.
Don't discount Lena Marchek, Roy. She's taking matters into her own hands.
And I think we might see some more of that from her. It served her really well, just calling raises, coming out firing or making plays.
Let's see, Marchek versus Boree. Lena started ahead, had a rough ride in the middle. But what now? Very, very close.
For the 3rd time, Lena Marchek has got to 100,000 chips and beyond. She is chip leader at this table once more.
This has been
Raise.
such a
14,000.
pay the rent move for Shelley Rubenstein throughout this tournament. But she is in the dire now. Dire of her own maker.
What's the play? What's the plan? Just call. Let Shelley bluff at this.
Call.
She has.
Oh, that's gutsy. What if the ace comes?
Well, if the ace comes, you can get away from it cheaply, can't she? Safe. Shelley was the raiser. She's got to see this through with aggression.
Gee, she might just push.
She's going to fall clean into the jaws of Liv Boree, who's played these kings exceptionally well. This is great poker from the young Londoner.
Check.
Shelley checked. She might have just smelled weakness, Roy. She might have smelled danger.
Shelley's got some outs, an ace or a 3.
I think Liv's actually got to make a bet that
It's
can get check
20,000.
raised. Because that's what Shelley might be doing. She wants it. Liv would love Shelley to make a move here. And if Shelley does...
Shelley
it'll-
hasn't got enough chips. She's got to recognise she's not got enough chips to make a re-race here. It can't possibly get through. If Liv's bet at that pot was smaller, then Shelley could consider the re-raise all in. Well, Liv's done nothing wrong there. She's tried to get paid. Possibly that bet was a bit rich on the flop, but so nearly did Shelley Rubenstein come out representing, and she would have got severely stung.
Cool.
Call. Option.
I think this little changing tactics, acknowledgement from Liv Boree that a raise might not necessarily get the desired job done.
260,000 chips at this table. These players both have 100,000 apiece.
Lead, check and fold.
First to bet wins. And even the Olympian would have looked stronger than what it is.
It's 6,000.
She has a lot of creativity in her game, Liv Boree, Roy.
Raise.
And Lena has just the weapons.
See, this is world-class poker, Jesse.
I mean, sheer broad.
It really is world-class poker. You've got a player leading out with no hand whatsoever, and a player coming over the top with no hand whatsoever.
18,000.
Oh.
And, you know, we've had 52 ladies this event, and 40 of them would not be able to make these kind of plays.
Yeah, Roy, I think Liv Boree has made a play that As you said, less than 5% of poker players in the world can pull, and Marchek has just made a play less than 1% are capable of.
And now Liv is just acting, pretending she's strong.
Pass.
Making out I wasn't at it, honestly. Of course she was with a 7 high.
Scary stuff, but awe-inspiring. Marchek taking the chip lead back from Boree. And is Shelley Rubenstein? Has she sung her last song here?
Could be pretty much getting into the all-in or pass phase. Let's not forget those blinds are 6,000 a pop. And she cannot afford to continue filling a Pierce bucket. She needs to turn the tap.
Welcome back to the European Ladies Poker Championship. We are down to our final 3, but who will come through in the race for the title and that all-important $30,000 check? Lena Martiak, Shelley Rubenstein or Liv Boree? We'll find out as we hand back to your commentators, Roy the Boy Brindley and Jessie May.
Boree on the button, and Roy, has she been stopped up a little bit by the last time round when Marchek made the stopper from the small blind? Is Liv Boree perhaps just giving it a little look-see?
If you want to be hypercritical, you could say that the only flaw in the game she's got is after the flop when she's missed.
12,000.
But, you know, she come out firing last time around, so there's nothing more she could have done, really.
Queen 10, very similar to King Jack. It's good. It's not great. It's pretty good. And Marchek just having a look to see who's interested. Is Shelley tickling in her seat?
Shelley's going nowhere.
Lena's got options here because she's got about a
Call.
about a 30,000 gap between herself and Boree, and of course, Liv not in a hurry to give more chips away.
Again, this tactic has proved very fruitful for Lena Marchek, calling these raises and outplaying her opponent.
Queen's winning, but the ace looms large, Roy.
Oh, Liv's going to hate this.
She's going to start feeling like Lena is just taking her to town.
2 factors here. First of all, Liv's got nothing. No part of this, no draw. Secondly, her opponent called a raise with something. Was it an ace? Was it a queen?
Bet 17,000.
Could Lena have just called with an ace in Liv's mind?
Can Liv make a repop with nothing? Represent the ace, which her opponent might already have. This is a fantastic bet from Lena Marchek, and it's going to get through, surely.
Pass.
She's too tough.
Lena Marchek's found the key to this game now. Now she's definitely found the key, and she's turning it. Let's call these raises, outplay my opponents on the flop, because I can do it every time. Look at those streak of red, 60 hands onwards, up, up and up, and most of those have come from playing off the flop and not pre-flop.
Marchek cruising ahead, and Boree has been taking the brunt of it. Not much between her and Rubenstein now.
Yeah,
Liv
just
does.
me. Okay. Yeah.
How come you don't pitch to us here anymore?
I thought I had a sweating disorder
She
or
doesn't
something.
No, no, this time you've been pitching the green. I like it when you pitch that blind.
Shelley hasn't folded from here,
This isn't a flop.
but a limp. New music.
Raise Call.
So often 2 moderate hands do collide in these
Oh, it's a plain
situations.
hand. Oh.
When we say a
I'm
flop
used to
which
do
suits
that.
both players, but that is not it. We needed to see some 8s
Checks.
in particular.
Yeah, she checked in the dark there, Shelley. Not sure what it was about. Perhaps she wants to try and represent something on the turn.
10,000.
I don't know if Liv is sure where she's at here, Roy. It's an odd kind of board and bet. Is she going to raise?
All in.
Wow!
Raised all in.
my.
Oh, what a bit of gear that is.
Tell you what.
You did hit on the flop, didn't you?
No outs. Oh, she's got a pair of 5s. Sorry, apologies. She's in front.
That was good.
But how did she pick up the fact that she was so
I did it.
so dominating and so certain to get that through?
She drew her line in the sand. She sniffed it out. Bottom pair, just about. And Boree, well, she wouldn't be here if she wasn't capable of doing that. Right. So many times in these tournaments in the past, players needed cards to make moves, needed cards to make bets and raises. These ladies don't need cards. They're capable to pretend and represent.
Or be aware that the pair of fives on a Queen King 5 board is good.
Pass.
These are three tremendous players, and it just goes to show you, Roy, when you're watching, three practitioners, masters of the art,
Raise.
could watch all day and all night.
Nice.
Interesting stuff because Liv has elected not to raise pre-flop. She's given up on that game plan.
17,000 total.
Net result,
13.
Lena again sees an opportunity and does some raising of her own.
Pass.
Another one for Marchek. And at Liv Boree, you can see the wheels turning, Roy. What's the right plan? How do I get this demon? Roy, blinds 3 and 6,000 now. Rubenstein, big blind. Shelley's got 26,000 total.
Raise.
6 of which are already in. Little smile from Lena. I think that's the smile saying, take her out. Go ahead. Do the business.
Indeed. Let's just take it in turns on picking on the short stack. We'll soon be heads up if we play our cards all right.
Pass.
You know the blinds went up, yeah? Yes, did you know that?
It's minimum raise.
Pass.
Did you know the blinds went up?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I did know, I forgot.
Yeah.
I wanted to raise.
Oh, Shelley Rubenstein down to 20,000, Roy. How much? How many? When?
Very, very soon. 9,000 chips come off her stack. On average, 3,000 chips every hand is being bled away.
Raise to 18,000.
And here, she can only get her chips in second, Roy. It's impossible.
Raise from
There's
the button.
ace.
Shelley said
All
enough's
in.
enough. I'm in on the small blind. I've got an ace.
20,000.
There's no way that Lena's full. Oh, my.
And she's got the absolute best of it.
How do you play this if you're Liv Boree? It's 18,000. She could just call for 12, Roy.
I'm guessing that would be the play, and to just pretty much check it down. But then again, it's a big pot, and she can win this by a raise.
She should re-isolate, you think.
It's a very difficult one on her.
I think it's actually 14,000 to call. Shelley had 2 extras. And that
She knows her opponent, Marchek, will not get busy and bluff on the flop with no hand, because that would give Shelley Rubenstein an opportunity to stay in. At the same time, she might well suspect her eights are good, and she's going to think, well, I've got the best hand. There's a big pot out there to be had. Let's do the business.
if she does stick any extra chips out.
That's what she's done, and it's a great play, really.
It's very fraught with danger.
I'll get your raise. I'll get all the Shelley's chips. We'll be heads up.
Approximately. How much?
80.
Marchak, this is not a serious
8.
question. This is for your
I thought you said
tournament.
18. I was like, oh, it's a little more than that.
Be content that you can see the winning
Nice
line, the
raise.
heads-up
Yeah.
situation
You're looking good.
looming.
Yeah, I think the reason Boree made the all-in raise rather than a smaller one, Roy, had something to do with the fact she didn't want to
Yeah.
give
You can tell
Lena
me.
more than 2 options.
Can you get 3 blue chips off you, please?
But it's Shelley Rubenstein all in.
And has to avoid an ace. 29%.
Right, I
So-
can't remember a time this
I would
tournament
wish you good luck.
of Shelley being
You're
all
mean
in.
and
Once with the
horrible,
ace
quite
king on the final
unpleasant.
table.
I know, I always have got it.
Well, you want attention shot rather than girl love.
Go on. Lovely.
929.
No change. An ace, and only an ace. 3 of them left, 16%.
A big card will give her some outs for the counterfeit.
2.
Changes nothing.
Well, a deuce, Roy. A deuce for a split.
5.
Nice hand, my friend.
Nice, yeah.
Go win it.
Shelly,
Yeah.
the poker goth, so dominant at this feature table for so long. Things at the final stage dried up for her. After a plethora of big hands and some fantastic play, she misses out on the heads-up confrontation, so agonisingly close. But she's got to be pleased with the way she's played, and she'll be back again next year without a doubt.
The tournament from the start was just very rocky for me. I lost a lot of chips. Like in the first few hands, I kept getting dark monsters. And then I was kind of short stacked within the first half hour. So it's kind of clawing back, clawing back, clawing back. And then I went really low. I was down to 3 blinds at one point. So then it was the old short stack specialist coming out, doubling up, doubling up, doubling up. And then getting enough chips to really take over the table to some degree. Then you go card dead at the end, get unlucky, make a few wrong moves.
So with Shelley Rubinstein out in third, we are heads up. Will it be Lena Martiak or Liv Boree who comes through to be crowned the 2008 European Ladies Poker Champion? We'll find out in a couple of minutes' time. From 52, we are now down to heads up. It's Liv Boree against Lena Martiak. Who will come through to be crowned champion and walk away with that $30,000 prize? We'll find out as we hand back to our commentators, Roy and Jesse.
Like a poker chip
Yeah,
dress.
I can-
Yes, once there were 52 ladies sitting down in this European Ladies Championship, but are any more worthy than these two for the title? Liv Boree,
Second.
nearly chipped up 133,000, but a lot of work to do. On the other end of the stick, Lena Martiak, Roy, with 128,000. It's basically dead level, but what's between them?
Okay.
Everything considered, personally, I've got to opt for Lena. I just think she's got a little bit more to her game. Well impressed with the way she's been calling raises and making plays. We've not seen that from Liv Boree. That could be the critical factor. That could make all the difference.
They've played a few pots together, and Lena has come out on top post-flop. But Roy, I mean, what are the advantages to Liv's game? What are the weaknesses? What does she have to look out for?
She's got to look out for the re-raise. That's the one that's been killing her. And again, she's going to raise here. You can see Lena calling the raise and then outplaying
Raise.
Liv on the flop.
You don't get to see this often.
Second.
You don't get to see two players of this standard,
16
Roy.
total.
Heads up, level
Another
chips,
10.
and blinds that have plenty of movement to them.
Yeah, they're playing some great stuff. I mean, novice players will be watching this saying, well, what are they doing, raising with a Jack-3 and a Jack-6? Trust me, it all makes sense in the big picture.
I trust you, but it doesn't make it any easier. And if you're Liv, just getting that money out there, takes some stuff. Takes some stuff on the inside, doesn't it? A whole lot of heart. Obviously, when you are level in chips, it makes it all that more sketchy. You don't want to necessarily be the first one to drop down to half stack and give your opponent that free swing.
Yeah, when it is so close as this, every chip really does count double. You lose 10,000, you chip up your opponent by 10,000. It's a 20,000 swing.
Raise.
So as it's so tight at the top at the moment, they should be ultra cautious.
You know, Roy, Lena's such a strong
Total of
watcher.
17,000.
Just start to wonder if she's got any kind of read on Liv. Liv looks so impassive, but
Call.
Call.
Here we go. This is the kind of stuff that Lena's so good at. If she hits this flop, she'll get paid. If she misses, she'll bluff at it and take it down.
Liv needs the ace. They've both
8,
missed.
8, queen.
She's been doing this all day.
Stop and go, play again.
There's 34,000 in the pot. 10 high. Doesn't scare Martiak. And Liv knows that this move, this is about the third time Martiak's tried this play.
22.
21.
2, I hope.
22. Those bets of hers, they're always about 2/3 the size of the pot. They're really well weighted. And what can Liv do now?
That's exactly what she can do. She can call, she can raise, she can fold. She's reaching deep. The reds were 10K apiece. Geez, if she sticks that 50 ball in, she's going to scare Marchek back to the Stone Age.
I can't believe for a month of Sunday she's going to move at all. I can't have it. It would be brilliant, but insane.
Raise.
Raise.
Amazing!
That's
Also
just
done,
great.
51,000.
That is just great.
Well, I'll take back everything I said about Liv Boree not having the repop in her MO. We've just seen it now. Ace high, and it is good, and she somehow knows.
And now Lena Marchek knows she just went one step too far, Roy. She underestimated the heart of a champion.
Fold.
Pass.
Nice raise.
It's a fantastic re-raise, and that is going to completely change the balance of power, because Liv Boree now has almost a 2-to-1 chip advantage.
Roy, she's learning as she goes. Liv Boree, look at that. That one pot. The slam dunk.
And she did it with no more than an ace high. No fear. Recognised her opponent, come out betting, put that down as a miss or weakness, and come clean over the top with just an ace high. Fantastic stuff.
There's nothing Liv could have known there but just plain old gumption. I mean, you add a banjo and a harpsichord, you'll have a Dulwich jamboree.
Call.
And I think Lena knows now she's in for a fight here, Roy.
Check.
No raise.
Limp and check. The blind coming
5
down
and
in
7.
position.
Pair of
Middle.
sevens for Lena, and she'll appreciate that Liv is most unlikely to have an ace here.
I think for the first time, Roy, she's looking at that board and not
Check.
exactly sure what she should do. That shook her, Roy.
No, I think she might know she's winning here, and she's trying to set a bit of a trap.
Oh, yeah.
She can't put Liv on an ace, so she must surely think a pair of sevens is good.
I think she's going to play this just a little passive to try and maybe induce the bluff and call it down.
It's not a huge pot.
7,000.
12,000 in there, 7,000 bet now.
Doesn't plan on passing, does she? But does she want to call? Does she want to raise? Of course, doesn't look like she's got that many chips with those reds and blues, the 5s and 10s.
I think she appreciates the 7 was good on the flop. That Liv can't have an ace. I think she's checked to create the situation to induce that bluff, that bet of Liv throw it on the turn. And maybe she's thinking it's better to raise now than to call on the end.
Call.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, she announced call, and obviously the only real killer card is the king. But a lot of scare cards could come out.
Now Liv's in a spot now. Pot's got bigger and bigger, 26,000 in there. She's got no part of this. She doesn't want to turn these cards over and show that she's been bluffing.
Check.
Check.
Show, please.
She's going to have to.
Yeah, I think she just wanted to knuckle it there. Didn't want to give an option back. King was some showdown value.
Yeah, very interesting. If you notice her as well, Liv got away without showing her hand. She managed to muck without turning over her king 4.
And I think Lena will just feel relieved to get a pot back. Get her nerves and feet back under her. After a very explosive start to this heads up, Roy, we've gotten into a pattern. The raise and take it from the button.
Queen 7, probably good enough for a raise.
Well, anything is good enough for
Raise
the
to
raise.
17,000.
Hardly anything can call the re-raise.
Raise 17,000. cautious call, or is it a re-raise?
What would you do?
Call.
Oh, I'd never be heads up in a tournament.
Feels very gutsy of Liv and very deceptive, Roy.
It's well hidden.
7.
It's gone wrong for her, though.
If she leads
Check.
at this, or even worse, check raises, Lena is going to be all over it. It's a very good flop for Lena's hand, isn't
Great
it?
stuff for her, yeah. But decides not to check and
27.
give away a free
27,000.
card, give her opponent a chance to catch an ace or a 10 or whatever she was chasing or is chasing.
And if Liv is readying her broadsword, this feels so dangerous, Roy.
This might not be the time, but it would also be very hard for Marcek to call. Top pair and a queen kicker in the face of a raiser who has checked raise on the flop.
She's going to count this out and find she can make a big re-raise.
If she did it, Jesse, would it get through? What do you think?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Like I say, it's only a pair of sevens with a queen kicker.
All in.
All in.
There you go. That's part A. What's the answer? It's very brave. It's a huge pot now.
Certainly lonely right now for Lena Marcek.
And Marcek's thinking this through. You raise pre-flop. I raise pre-flop. You called this flop come
Big
down.
draw, huh?
Do you have a flush draw? Do you have outs? Do you have me beaten already?
Okay, let's gamble. Call.
She has called, and Liv has got outs. But Roy, Lena Marcek's a favorite here.
Yeah, she's got outs, but she's basically
Have
stepped
7.
out of line.
Oh, okay.
Just once too often. She's got away with this move before, not this
Pushing
time.
you out.
Fantastic
Very,
call by
very,
Marcek.
very good call.
It's not much of a hand. Pair of sevens and a queen kicker, but it's good right now. And it's a strong favourite.
Come on.
There's the ace. It came out of nowhere, and Liv just now 1 card away from the title.
A 7, a queen, or a diamond. No help.
Nice.
We have a champion.
How much? Don't know if I've got it.
Liv
You-
Boree went into this hand as chip leader. I declare she is now 2008 ELC
Yeah.
champion.
And these are 2 extraordinary poker players, Roy. Liv Boree, though, European ladies champion.
Tell me she's not delighted. I don't think she's
Sorry.
taken it in yet.
That sucks.
She's hit a miracle
I'd
card
be
on the
hating
turn.
me
She's
right
got
now.
every chip in with 6 outs.
I didn't think you had
Delivered the
anything.
goods. She was dominant at this final table. She was dominant in the heads-up play. A worthy winner. A fantastic runner-up and third-place player, Shelley Rubenstein. Well, no cast-off to defeat. This was a great lineup and a great outcome. A good day for ladies poker.
What a hand, that last hand. Took Boree a lot of guts to make the raise. Marcek even more to call. She had way the best of it, but that ace on the turn, that was a heaven-sent card, wasn't it? And the pair aces taking Liv Boree to the title.
I mean, I played my best. I had my money in with the best hand, and I got sucked out on. I mean, she played very well. I understand her move there, and that hurts. So I played the best I could, and really, it's hard.
Congratulations, Liv, on becoming the Ladbrokes European Ladies Champion 2008.
Thank you so much.
It's been fantastic poker, full stop. Lucy Sergitis on hand from LadbrokesPoker.com to present the winner's check. A world-class winner has emerged triumphant here. Liv Boree is your LadbrokesPoker.com European Ladies Champion.
I'm absolutely over the moon. I can't describe how amazing this is. I've been playing poker now for 3 years, and I haven't ever made like a major title. I've been pro for like the last 5-6 months now, and I was just like, come on, when am I going to win one? And now it's just so nice to have that major title. I'm so happy. So much respect for Lena, for Shelley, for all the other guys. I mean, they were incredible. I mean, that last hand was, yeah, I got very lucky, to be honest. I mean, it could have been either one of us. Lena deserves as much as I do. She played just as well, if not better. And I mean, yeah, it just so happened when she called my all-in on that final hand, I was like, oh my God. Because I mean, Yeah, I didn't believe her at all. And I was like, no, I think my ace high is good here. So I re-pushed back at her, and then she's like, actually, yeah, I caught. Yeah, and then I just got lucky on the turn. But yeah, it's been an amazing, amazing couple of days.
So we have a champion. 52 top players set out in pursuit of the title and that glorious $30,000 check. But it's Liv Boree who has come through to be crowned the 2008 Ladbrokespoker.com European Ladies Champion. Huge congratulations to her. We've got plenty more drama for you next year as well. We'll see you then. But on behalf of myself and the team, it's goodbye.